Alright guys, so I've been doing this initial assessment video for quite a while, and this time I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna get down to the heart of it. Um, it'll still be a longer video, a long form video, but if you don't want any spoilers, then go ahead and walk away for, I'd say, the next 10 seconds. Alright, 3, 2, 1. The Predator does not fight Spider-Man in this book. Not once, not in one panel.
What?
Spoiler over. So, now that I've spoiled that, and hopefully you didn't watch that if you didn't want to know, it sets up the title of this book, but it's kind of disjointed, and it's not really... I don't really know. Somebody said that it's not in the 616. There's not really any editorial oversight on this book, and it shows because you've got this FBI agent figuring out these murders from somebody who skins people. You've got Spider-Man with J. Jonah Jameson. You've got these guys that get away from Spider-Man and they get skinned. You've got Spidey coming home to Mary Jane, who's not home. You've got Mary Jane on the subway. You've got this really grotesque-looking Predator. You've got J. Jonah Jameson screaming from the rooftops. And then you have Kraven the Hunter. That's a whole lot of stuff going on for a book that's a 4-issue miniseries. We're setting up a lot of moving parts. It's not that I didn't enjoy the book, but I don't really see how you can fit all of these pieces into the puzzle successfully in 4 issues. I'm not one for decompression. I don't like to see issues that stretch out, and there's a lot of Image miniseries that have been greenlit lately that I'm scratching my head because it's part 1 of 8, part 1 of 9. I get that you have a 3-act structure, but really you're going to set it up in the first third, then the second third, and then the bottom half, the last third, you're going to miraculously wrap all this up. So I think 4 is too short. I think 6 is kind of the sweet spot. And then I think unless you're going to do a 12-issue maxi series a la Crisis on Infinite Earths, Watchmen, something along those lines that is going to become a national treasure, then I don't really think that you need to do 9 or 10. It's just a weird number. But anyway, to get back to this particular book, the first thing that I really liked was this Greg Land cover that you've got with the Predator attacking Spider-Man underneath a New York City skyscraper, in the shadow of a New York City skyscraper. And the artwork by, I believe it's Marcelo Ferreira, is energetic, and it's got a lot of excitement to it. It really tells a story. It's similar, in my opinion, almost to a Joe Quesada story as far as the layouts go. You get, pieces of action here with the arm. You get movement, almost like Humberto Ramos. You get all of these different things, and then you get a front end of a Ford Econoline. Ask me how I know what that looks like. But you've got all these different pieces together, and I can appreciate taking something and breaking it apart into a million pieces and putting it back together. But to start with a million pieces and try to make something of it doesn't always work out, especially when you've got 4 issues. That's only 240 pages or so worth of story, and that's if it's larger sized books than normal. Okay? So, I'm not knocking it. I did enjoy it, but I do have to say that if I had to choose between this or Batman versus Predator way back in the early 90s from DC, I'm taking that series every time because it gets right to the heart of it. The Predator almost kills Batman in the first issue. And then you just get all-out action with Batman trying to outsmart this foe that he's never fought before. Here, you're getting Spider-Man investigating a series of murders that he doesn't really know what the background is. He's not Batman, is the point I'm trying to make. He's not the Dark Knight detective. He's not a detective at all. His role is more of a punch 'em, web 'em, send 'em to the gulag type of superhero. So you get this interesting subsection here with Mary Jane, who's stuck in the subway, and she meets this woman who's flipping out because she doesn't like enclosed spaces and gets claustrophobia. Then you get this Predator that just jumps out at him wearing somebody else's face. So that's nice for a jump scare. But where really is the story behind all of this? What is the story? You've got the power grid is down. J. Jonah Jameson is selling papers, that pretty much he and Peter Parker have handmade and fired up old Jenny, as Parker said. The original presses. But like I said, where is the story? What are we trying to get to? Is Kraven going to hunt the Predator who's hunting Spider-Man? Is Kraven hunting the Predator who's not hunting anybody in particular? Because that's what it looks like. It looks like this Predator is killing random bad guys and wearing their skin. But where does that fit within Kraven versus Spider-Man, or Spider-Man versus the Predator, or Predator versus Spider-Man? Where does this fit into the narrative? That's what I'm having trouble with. So I'm going to give this one, upon initial assessment, I'm going to give it a C+, because the story was there, but I just don't know how they're going to get from point A to point B in such a fast arc. Even a 3-issue miniseries makes a lot of sense, but a 4-issue where you've got something huge like this, that's a lot of ground to cover in a short amount of time. And by the way, if I remember properly, the original Dark Horse and DC event with Batman and Predator was also 4 issues, but there was a lot less ads in those books. There was a lot more story in those books. So like I said, I'm going to give this a C+, and I don't know that I can really recommend you taking a dose of this to make you feel better about anything other than your own life, because your life has really got to be better than this book. Again, it's got a beautiful Greg Land cover, but I don't know that I'll be back for issue 2. I really don't know that. So take that with a grain of salt. Let me know in the comments below what you thought if you picked it up. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Were you indifferent or somewhere in between? So let me know in the comments, and we'll talk about it later, guys. Have a great night.